something like that.
God.
When the rest of this will be resolved. That's what he's waiting for, you know, appeals filed.
Yeah. He's working on that. This is what you ask yourself.
Samson, you weren't supposed to be here.
I thought I surprised you.
Yeah, I heard that. But he's in PC.
I wasn't supposed to be here.
No, you.
I don't have any handlers. I need a handler.
Oh, there he is. He just came out.
They're making excuses for you.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to call the meeting of the Fuller Road Management Corporation Board to order and welcome our directors and recognize Emily Conchalla, who's here today representing the Research Foundation, and also Robert Geer, who's representing the SUNY Poly Foundation. Here for the directors with me today are Bob Samson, Bob Blackman, Mike Breslin, Franklin Hecht, and Ken Tompkins, and we're also joined by video by Mike Frame and Brad Johnson. Mike and Brad, can you hear us okay?
I can hear you.
Great, okay, thank you. At this time I would ask my fellow directors if anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the items on today's agenda, and if so, if you would please make a disclosure on the record at this time, and then when we come to that item on the agenda, if you would please recuse yourself from both any discussion of the item and the vote on that item. Does anyone have any conflict or potential conflict? Hearing none, we'll move to the minutes from our last meeting, which was held on September 12th, 2019. At this time, I would ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you.
Everyone else do that.
Anyone have any corrections or anything to add to the minutes? All right then, if we could vote on the motion to approve the minutes of the September 12th meeting. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great, the minutes are approved. We'll now move to the Finance Committee report. The first item on the agenda is authorization for a real estate transaction. At this time, I would ask for a motion regarding resolution number 161, approving the sale of 115 Canal Ponds Boulevard, so that we can discuss the item. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Mike.
Second.
Thank you, Bob. So by way of background, Fuller Road Management Corporation is the owner of a manufacturing and industrial building located at 115 Canal Ponds Boulevard, which is in Rochester. The building is comprised of approximately 59,254 square feet of office, lab, and clean manufacturing space, and it is located on a 6.9-acre parcel. In July, FRMC issued and publicly advertised an invitation for bid for the sale of this property. 3 bids were received. The highest bidder was Donahoe Management, LLC. They came in with a bid of $1.5 million. The company advises that its affiliate, which is Carey Acquisitions, LLC, will be the purchaser. Fuller Road Management Corporation is now seeking authorization to sell this facility to Donahoe or its affiliate Carey Acquisitions for the $1.5 million bid price. FRMC conducted the invitation for bid process in accordance with its policies on procurement and acquisition and disposition of property. As required by the acquisition and disposition policy, an appraisal of the property was conducted in 2017. At that time, the property was appraised for $2.2 million. Since that time, some facility-related infrastructure issues have been identified, which have caused further reduction in the value of the property and therefore render the purchase price of $1.5 million fair market value for the property. The building will be sold as is, and the sale of the property will enable FRMC to streamline its property holdings and focus on a high-tech growth opportunities. The terms and conditions of the sale have been reviewed and approved by the interim contracting officer, Scott Bateman. The FRMC Finance Committee approved a resolution that, number 1, authorized the President and/or acting treasurer to sell the facility at 115 Canal Ponds Boulevard in Rochester, New York, to Donahoe or its affiliate Carey Acquisitions on the terms and conditions that I stated above, and to take any and all actions necessary to effectuate the sale. And 2, recommending that the board today approve these same actions so that we may finalize the sale. Are there any questions or comments about the proposed disposition of this property? Hearing none, the requested action to restate is approval of resolution number 161, authorizing the president and/or acting treasurer to sell the facility at 115 Canal Ponds Boulevard in Rochester, New York, to Donahoe or its affiliate Carey Acquisitions on the terms and conditions stated above, and to take any and all actions necessary to effectuate such sale. If I could ask all in favor of the resolution number 161, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Great, the resolution is approved. And that brings us to the second item on the agenda from the Finance Committee, and that is with regard to food service agreement. Would ask for a motion to consider a food services agreement with JR Proprietors, Inc. at this time.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Franklin. Second? Thank you, Mike. So Fuller Road Management Corporation seeks to enter into a food service agreement with JR Proprietors, Inc., pursuant to which JR will have the exclusive right to provide food and catering services on the Albany Nanotech campus, with some limited exceptions, for a base period of 5 years, with renewal options thereafter upon written agreement of both parties. This agreement is based on an award made pursuant to a request for proposals that was issued in August of this year in accordance with FRMC's procurement guidelines policy. Under this agreement, JR will operate 2 cafes on the Albany Nanotech campus and have use of the equipment in these cafes. JR will begin operations in the NanoFab East Cafe on November 4th, 2019, and will begin operations in the Zen Cafe within 35 days thereafter. JR will assume the risk for the food and catering services. After December 31st, 2021, JR will pay FRMC a commission of 1.5% of any profits for any quarter that follows 4 consecutive quarters of profitability that occur after December 31st, 2020. At its September 12th, 2019 meeting, the FRMC board extended the term of the previous food service provider through the end of September of 2019 and authorized the president and/or acting treasurer to negotiate and enter into a contract with the successful bidder on the new RFP for food services, subject to ratification by the board at its next meeting. In preparation for JR to begin operations on November 4th, 2019, the agreement was executed prior to this board meeting, and ratification of the agreement is now being sought. The Finance Committee approved a resolution recommending that 1, the board approve and ratify this agreement with JR, 2, that the board approve and ratify all actions taken by the president and/or acting treasurer regarding the negotiation and execution of the agreement, and 3, that the board authorize the president and/or acting treasurer to take any and all actions necessary and appropriate to effectuate such actions. So the requested action is to adopt the resolution to approve and ratify the agreement with JR, approving and ratifying all actions taken by the president or acting treasurer regarding the negotiation and execution of this agreement, and 3, authorizing the president and/or acting treasurer to take any and all actions necessary and appropriate to effectuate such actions. At this time, I would pause and ask if anyone has any questions or comments on the food service agreement matter. Then I would ask for a vote on the motion to approve the food service agreement with JR. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? Excellent. Then the food service agreement with JR is approved. We'll move on to the lease amendment. The lease amendment is with Lamb Research Corporation. I would ask for a motion to consider the amendment.
Move.
Thank you, Ken. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Bob. Lamb Research Corporation currently leases 2 office spaces in NFS that consist of 1,053 square feet and 1,845 square feet. Its lease will expire on November 21st of this year, and the company is seeking an extension of this lease to March 1st, 2022. Lamb Research Corporation will pay $51.15 per square foot for the 1,053 square foot office space and $49.66 per square foot for the 1,845 square foot office space. which rates include operating expenses as well as utilities. This represents a 3% increase from the previous year, and the rent will increase 3% annually. The proposed lease represents a small fraction of the total NFS building. Therefore, an appraisal of the fair market value of the asset was deemed not to be practical. Staff has determined, however, that the lease meets fair market value based on other existing leases on the Albany Nanotech campus. The Finance Committee approved a Resolution 1 authorizing approval of an amendment to the lease with Lamb under the terms described above. 2, authorizing the President and the Acting Treasurer, each of them without the other, to take such actions, including without limitation, to approve, sign, acknowledge, and deliver the amendment in such form as either of them may deem appropriate as are necessary to effectuate the resolution. And 3, recommending that the Board approve the same action. So the requested action is approval of a resolution authorizing an amendment to the lease with Lamb under the terms described above, and authorizing the President and the Acting Treasurer, each of them without the other, to take such actions, including without limitation, to approve, sign, acknowledge, and deliver the amendment in such form as either of them may deem appropriate as are necessary to effectuate the resolution. Anyone have any questions or comments about this lease extension? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, then the lease amendment is approved. That brings us to new business. I would ask if any of my fellow directors have any new business to bring before the board. There being none today, then I would move to the public comment portion of our meeting. We'd like to provide an opportunity for anyone who's attending from the public to comment. Would ask that you please introduce yourself and limit your comments to 2 minutes. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Okay. All right. Then our next meeting date is to be determined, and I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Bob. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Mike. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Great. Then we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Adjourned.